You're listening to the B2B Growth Think Tank, the show that brings you the virtual hot seat where each week my expert guests and I help another business leader by masterminding actionable solutions to a specific challenge they're currently trying to solve in their business. So if you're looking for answers to a specific challenge that you're facing, that if you could solve in the next 90 days would have a huge impact on your growth, send it in to thinkttank@thinklikeafish.co.uk and we'll see if we can feature you on the show. My name is Adam King, your host and the captain of the ship at growth consultancy Think Like a Fish. And if you're ready to rethink what's possible for your business and discover the growth strategies, advice and insight to turn this new vision into a reality, let's get started. What I'm going to be talking to you about today is how to avoid the most common mistakes that many people make when setting up strategic alliances. And at the end, I'm going to show you a bunch of examples of how to avoid them by doing these next things right. So I am going to start by saying that the truth is that most potential strategic partnerships, they are doomed from the start. And I don't mean to be negative, but it is true. Now, the way I can sort of show that is I want you to sort of think how many people that you've had a coffee date with, right? After, say, meeting them at a networking event where you both agree that it makes sense to potentially refer business each other's way. Like, we've all had those, right? But then think how many actual referrals or how much actual business or how many leads generally, actually came from this. Most of the time, it's not a lot, right? And I'm going to guess it's not a lot. Now, granted, you might have had a few, but it's nowhere near the level of benefit and the growth potential that there could have been for both of you if you'd have set it up right from the start. So what happens really is because neither side took the initiative to make partnering an actual attractive proposition, right? That's why this happens. And it's no one's fault, right? It's, everyone went into this with good intentions, right? But what you need to think about is you need it to be a partnering to be a really attractive proposition, and one that's easy to say yes to, that has clear benefits and expectations for both parties. Basically simply reaching out and asking people if they know anyone that could refer you, it's not going to work very well. And believe it or not, this is often the way that people go about things, and crazy, but it is true. What you need to do is get a little bit more creative. You're going to need to, if you're actually going to get engagement and buy-in from any potential partner, because you've got to think about them. You are marketing and selling to a potential partner, even if you've got something that is mutual benefit. You're not actually asking them to buy something, right? You're still selling the concept. So armed with this knowledge, right, and the strategic foresight to understand that huge upside to partnerships, it's not the wisest decision to leave things up to chance. So you have to be the leader here. So the key is getting somebody interested in partnering with you. It's to present it as an opportunity that gets them excited about partnering with you by offering them specific ideas for how you can support each other moving forward. Now, these individual ideas, once you start having a few, they will combine to form your strategic alliance program. And that is something that you will build up over time, right? But this is ultimately how you'll stand out. And you'll want to be thinking, right, how am I going to build an actual strategic alliance program where I can regularly and repeatedly and consistently go out and recruit new strategic alliance partners for my business that is literally going to have that exponential growth impact, because that's what can happen. Just don't do what most people who actually try and fail to build this kind of program by basically making the other person go and do all the work or try and figure things out by not being clear and communicating the benefits of partnering with you, because people, they are too busy for all of that, especially when they don't know you, right? So what you want to do is come up with ideas that are easy for them to say yes to. So for example, when you identify a potential strategic partner, then what you could do is you could ask them what kind of clients or connections that they're looking for and offer to, first of all, just connect them with one or two of the key people that you know that fits this profile. You're giving first. You could ask them to teach you the best way to refer them to your clients. Now, not a lot of people actually get this kind of request, do they? Just think, how would you feel if someone approached you and said, look, I'd love to be able to refer, I've seen what you do. I'm impressed with your business. I've been following it for a while, and I've seen that you get a lot of positive reviews and all that kind of thing. So because I serve a similar market, it would make sense for me to refer my clients to you. I'd love to know the best way to refer you. Would you show me the best way? Not many people are going to actually have ever received that. It's a fantastic way of doing it. You could offer to do content swaps of articles, blog posts, podcast episodes, whatever it is. To say, look, I've got this audience. I'd love to put some of your content in front of them. Would it be okay? What is your most beneficial content that you have, or what piece of content are you looking to promote right now? You could, on the flip side, you could offer them one of your assets in your business that will be valuable to their clients, and let them send it to their network. Or you could go one better and actually offer to co-brand that asset with their details. Now that goes even further, right? And that's beneficial to them, because we all are told we need to create content on a regular basis and provide value and all that kind of thing with your marketing. Well, it takes a lot of work. So if you come to them with something that's ready done and say, look, we can co-brand this and you can send this, would you be interested? A lot of people are going to be interested, at least hearing you out, okay? So the other thing that you could do, suggest you deliver a valuable presentation or a talk for their audience, their network, their clients. So if you've got a topic that you're incredibly knowledgeable about and can be valuable, and you've got, say, like a signature talk or something that you're happy to present to people, you can offer to do this and just say, look, I've got this, it's incredibly valuable. They look like a hero for basically introducing you to them. You provide the value, and you get exposed to an entirely new pool of potential clients and customers. And you can do this virtual via webinars and Zoom meetings and all that kind of thing, or you can do it in person, depending on when you're watching this, whether we're allowed to do that. However you want to do it, it's providing value to somebody else's network. You could invite them onto your podcast for an interview and help them spread their message to your audience if you have a podcast. And if you don't have a podcast, seriously, it is a very powerful way to get conversations with people that would not necessarily ever have given you the time of day. And it's one that I use, and it has literally changed my business. So I seriously advise you to take a look at using this kind of strategy. You could invite them to join a partnership mastermind group. Now, this is powerful. Again, this is a little bit more advanced, but you can invite people into a group of other like-minded businesses and just form that sort of collective that essentially would be that partnership mastermind group, where you are the connector, but essentially everybody is in there looking for opportunities to grow their business. It is very, very powerful. So I'm hoping ultimately through all of this, you're seeing that the common thread that is running through all of these is that developing partnerships is a game of giving first, right? So this is absolutely true in building any relationships, both with potential partners and potential clients and, potential life partners, all that kind of thing, right? But I just want you to think, if you approach finding partners in this way, you will find that the doors to opportunities that you never even considered, they naturally start to open. Now, granted, they won't every time or with every single individual, but if you follow this process, you'll have a much more robust and effective process for building these mutually beneficial relationships, and in a way that will produce a constant stream of growth opportunities for you and your business and your partners for years to come. It truly is powerful, because basically as these partnerships develops, things like inbound referrals, leads, they become more consistent, and opportunities, they all close faster, because it's all this sort of nature of like endorsements and increased authority and expertise status in the mind of the people that are being introduced to you. So it truly is a very powerful way of growing your business. Because when you take that well-structured and strategic approach to partnering, what happens, and this is why, rather than thinking that things are doomed from the start, if you take the strategic approach and actually plan out how you're going to do this, you seriously go from being a nice idea that your partners might get around to helping someday. Oh yeah, it's been a lovely time getting to know you, and this has been a lovely cup of coffee, and yes, we should probably refer business to each other. Oh, back in my office, I've got a million things and I've forgotten even the name of that person I just had coffee with, right? No, instead of that, you become an irresistible business growth partner that they cannot stop raving about, because you are truly taking the lead and helping them, right? So that's all I wanted to really sort of get across here, and the power of it, and why you just think about things in different, and just be a little bit proactive in how you do this massively changes the impact and the effectiveness of strategic alliance. So I do hope you found this valuable. What I'm going to be doing in the next episode is talking about how to specifically generate leads with strategic alliance, and giving you 10 specific ideas on how to do that. So that's it for this episode. I hope you found it valuable. I hope you got some great ideas that you can take away and apply to your business to help you grow. If you did, please share it with somebody else that might also find this valuable, because they will thank you for it. Also, to let you know that I have a podcast gift page where I put a lot of resources that I love to share with my listeners. You can find the links to join the Facebook community there, and you can get my book, The Conversational Relationship Marketing, and the audiobook version, all for free, plus a number of other resources I'll be adding over time on that page. So make sure you head there to thinklikeafish.co.uk/podcast gift, and you can help yourself to the things that make most sense to you. And if you have enjoyed the show, please make sure you're subscribed. You'll get updated as the new episodes come out. And finally, last favor, please consider giving the show your honest rating and review on Apple Podcasts. I read every single one. They mean the world from me. I love hearing from my listeners, and it does help others find the show as well. So if you want to go and do that, I'd really appreciate it. But until next time, have an awesome day, and we'll speak soon.